Federico woke up one morning that seemed like any other. The sun was filtering through the curtains, spreading a warm and comforting light into the room. It seemed like a normal day, but an unexpected phone call was about to change everything. The phone rang while he was preparing breakfast, interrupting the tranquility of his routine. When he answered, a voice on the other end made him shiver. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. There was something different in the tone of that person, something that made Federico's heart tighten in an instant. He felt that this was not an ordinary call. Although he could not immediately grasp what was about to happen, a strange sensation pervaded him. He breathed deeply, as if he wanted to prepare for an imminent change. Federico had always been a strong man, accustomed to facing life's adversities. He had lost his wife, Laura, in a car accident 5 years earlier, and his life had been marked by pain since then. The apartment where they had lived together had become an empty place, filled only with memories and deafening silences. There, every room spoke of her, of what they had shared and what they would never have again. In the months following Laura's death, Federico had lived like a ghost. The days followed one another all the same, immersed in a hopeless gray. He walked aimlessly through the streets of the city, trying to understand how he could go on, if it were still possible to do so. But a memory of Laura continued to torment him, a dream that they had shared and that, despite everything, continued to beat in his heart. That dream, that of becoming parents, was what finally pushed him to make an unexpected decision. Federico decided to adopt a child. It was not a choice he took lightly. He was aware of the responsibility, but he felt that it was the only way to fill the void that was devouring him. He knew that the love he had felt for Laura had not disappeared, and he wanted to share it with another soul in need. Federico walked to the adoption center one fall morning. The air was cool, and as he walked toward the building, a part of him was unsure of what he was about to do. He was greeted by a young social worker named Elisa, who looked at him with a mixture of kindness and skepticism. "We don't usually place children with single parents," she said with a sad smile, as if she were already setting him up for disappointment. But Federico did not let himself be discouraged. He spoke to Elisa about his desire to be a father, about his ability to give love and take care of a child, as he had done with Laura. His words, full of sincerity and determination, struck Elisa. After some reflection, the woman proposed the adoption of a child with special needs, a little boy named Luca, only 4 years old. Luca had been through several foster families and carried on his shoulders a pain that few could understand. Federico, however, did not hesitate for a moment. When he met Luca for the first time, something inside him changed. Little Luca, with his big, curious eyes and shy smile, immediately touched Federico's heart. Luca had Down syndrome and required special attention, but this only strengthened Federico's desire to take care of him. The bond between the two formed almost immediately. Their days were made of small gestures, simple routines but full of meaning. Federico had never thought he could feel so full of life again. Every afternoon, Federico picked up Luca from kindergarten. It had become the most anticipated moment of his day. Seeing Luca running toward him with open arms and a smile that lit up the world filled Federico's heart with indescribable joy. That pure and unconditional love was what he had always wanted, what his life desperately needed. Despite everything, life was not without its difficulties. Luca required much more attention than other children, and Federico often felt tired, but his determination was unshakable. He was willing to do whatever was necessary to ensure Luca's well-being and happiness that he deserved. The years passed, and Luca grew up in a serene and loving environment. He was a happy child, loved by all who met him. Federico never forgot Laura. Often during the quiet winter evenings while he watched Luca sleep, he whispered a promise to his wife. "I found a way to fill the void you left. I found a new reason to live." They were words that gave him strength, that allowed him to continue despite the difficulties. One day, while Federico was at work, he received a phone call from Elisa. The tone of her voice was tense, and Federico immediately understood that something was wrong. Elisa explained to him that Luca's biological parents had come forward after many years and that they wanted to contact him. The news hit him like a bolt of lightning. He didn't know what to expect. What could they possibly want after all this time? Elisa told him that Luca's parents had written a letter for him and that it would be important to read it. Federico trembled slightly as he opened the envelope. Inside, there was a letter written by Luca's biological father. The man told a story of pain and difficulty, explaining how an accident had left him quadriplegic and how he had been forced to give his son up for adoption. "I wasn't able to be the father Luca deserved," he wrote, "but you are. Thank you for giving him the love I couldn't give him." At the end of the letter, he revealed that he had set up a trust fund to provide Luca with a secure future. Federico felt a wave of emotions wash over him. He felt overwhelmed but also deeply grateful. He knew it was time to tell Luca the truth about his origins. It wasn't an easy conversation, but with patience and love, he explained to Luca who his biological parents were and why they had made that choice. Luca listened in silence, with the maturity he had always shown, despite his young age. There was no anger or sadness in his eyes, only understanding. That night, as he put him to bed, Federico understood that their bond was stronger than ever. The years passed, and despite the daily challenges, Federico and Luca continued to live together as a true family. They faced every difficulty with courage and love. Their bond, indissoluble, had become the center of their existence. One day, watching Luca playing carefree, Federico smiled and thought, "Life presents us with unexpected challenges, but it also offers us precious gifts, which we could never have imagined." Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.